everyone, hope you all enjoyed this gameplay showcase video of the new boss that we created. If you didn't notice already, Creta, the fallen Crucible Knight, is basically a Crucible Knight that was sort of infused with the power of the Fell God during the war that happened between Leyndell and the Fire Giants. And now he stands as the last defense against anyone who tries to disturb the mountaintop of the Giants. This boss was designed by Madmaster, which is one of the main people who are doing the designs for the bosses and the weapons on our team, alongside Kaji from the Roaring Forge. And if you didn't notice already, it's sort of a reimagination of how we had Silver Knights and Black Knights in Dark Souls 1, but we wanted to make it into something that was more lore friendly and something that could fit into the world of Elden Ring, and we found the Fell God and the Crucible Knights fit that scenario perfectly. So we have redesigned the armor, the shield and the sword accordingly, and we think it looks very demonic and very cool. Now in terms of the gameplay, one of our newest members, Mihai, was the one who designed the gameplay aspect. And a huge design decision for us with this Crucible Knight iteration has been trying to incorporate the usage of jumps into the combat flow of the fight, while also creating an opponent that proves more complex and gratifying to face than in the vanilla game. And as we mentioned, going with the Flame of the Fell God theme, he can now cast Giant's Flame incantations using the Fell God effigy on his shield, either imbuing his sword attacks with charring flames or catching the player in a merciless swirling of fire and embers. Now, in an attempt to emphasize the strength of the Crucible, his wings, ornate in gold, will now soar even higher with this update. Now let's talk about balance for a second. The Crucible Knight has always been this bulky warrior that struggles to move around in Phase 1, but is capable of swift movements with the aid of his Crucible body parts in Phase 2. We wanted to expand his flying moveset with not just one, but 4 new variations of his standard flying attack. From one that takes him further away on the wind-up, to a slam mix-up, to a fire breathe repositioner, and ultimately his new transition attack, which will leave hell in its wake. All of these have different expected responses to them, and as such, all of these are meant to create this very specific ebb and flow to the combat, where he will take off, fly away, then return to the player in a soaring gust of flame. Phase 2 will now start at 70% HP in an attempt to serve as an appetizer for what's to come, while also introducing the player to understand the standard flow of the combat and slowly escalating the pace. Some attacks will now have mix-ups meant to test the player's ability to adapt to ongoing situations, such as the sword drag attack having 2 different variations differentiated by the Giant's Flame sigil. One of them will track the player relentlessly for a very short length, while the other will cover a significant distance but be severely hampered in its tracking. It's up to you to provide the accurate responses to these challenges, and in doing so, to conquer one of the legendary 16 Crucible Knights. We are doing a big expansion in terms of the Crucible Knights, and we can't wait to show you guys what we have in store, which will also be coming very soon. And for this boss fight, it will be available next week alongside the new armor and weapons for this boss fight. So make sure to check out our Patreon for the early access of the Garden of Eyes to be able to experience this and all of the other things that this mod features, which is a huge amount of new, which should be appearing on the top right corner. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video, and we'll be seeing you later. Bye bye.